wonder how they measure up or what other people think about them. Most people always are wondering how do they measure up and what people think about them. What is going on that can I measure up to what's happening? Do I measure up to the situation? Do I measure up to the competition that's coming to me? How do I measure up? A lot of times we wondering, am I going to be good enough to do the things? And so you got to understand there's a measuring line a lot of times that we place on our own selves. There's a measuring line that we put, which means that if there's a measuring line, there's a limit. Okay. If there's a measuring line, there is a limit. A lot of times, my son, he used to talk about different people were good in football. Man, so-and-so is really, really good. And man, he's really good. And I'm always like, so? So what? You can handle him. But Dad, you don't know, man. They already, college is this. No, it's okay. You can handle it. In other words, you've already put this person higher than yourself. In your mind, you've already esteemed them better than you. In other words, you say you can't reach the limit that they're already at. You see them as being greater than you are already by esteeming them so high. It's okay to give people their props, but don't act like there's fear involved when you're giving somebody their props, because you can be just as good as they are. They ain't no different than you. And so stop putting a measuring line on who you are. You might not know that they might be saying, hey, man, that's this guy that really hits real hard and I don't really want to run through that hole, and you at the same time is giving him props, in other words, stop putting a measuring line on who you are and what you're capable of doing. Okay. But most people live life trying to measure up. But when you try to measure up, you put a limit on yourself. Okay, and then you wonder what others think about you. How do I measure up? What do people think about me? We got to get past what people think about you. Because what people think about you should not limit you being you. All right. I'm going to say that again. You need to get past what people think about you, because what people think about you is not the limit. What God thinks about you is the limit. Amen. So Zechariah then, check this out. Zach, I'm just going to call him Zach. Y'all all right with that? Zach got his name too long for me. Zach then has an angel tell him, Jerusalem will be a city without walls. He tells him it's going to be a city without walls. We need to be a people without walls. We need to be a people that don't have walls in our life that keeps us from moving forward. And so walls represent defense and security. Okay, y'all. Some of y'all might see where I'm going with this, but walls represent defense and security. So anywhere that there was a city without walls, they were defenseless and there was no security. It was hard to go to sleep at night because you never knew who might just come into your camp and take over the situation. And so walls were always built back then so it could give them a sense of defense and security. Can I suggest to you that there are some walls of defense in you that make you feel secure? Okay, I'm finna go deep. Y'all say, hold on, Pastor finna go deep. There are some walls of defense in you that make you feel secure. There are some things you placed up that you said nobody's gonna get behind this wall, and I feel secure with that wall being up. Okay, that's just about everybody, amen. That's just about everybody. You too, whoever looking, that's you too. You put up a defense, or you won't get close or let nobody close to you because you put up a defense because you feel secure behind it, and nobody can harm you, nobody can hurt you, nobody can talk about you, nobody can put you down anymore, nobody's going to make you feel like you felt before that time. So you put up a wall of defense that you feel like secures you. Okay. defending against abandonment, defending against broken promises, defending against abuse, defending against rejection. You have so many walls that you're defending against, so many things, because so many people hurt you in your past. So many people let you down in your past. So many people caused trouble in your life. So many people spoke things against you that really hurt your feelings. They don't even understand the words that they spoke, and they don't even understand the pain that it caused. They don't even understand what it sent you through. They don't even understand the mindset that you went through. They don't understand that you actually maybe wanted to even give up your own life, all because of the pain that hurt so much. But instead of giving up your life, you decide to put up a wall that would defend against anybody ever abandoning you again, anybody ever breaking a promise, anybody ever loving me and crushing me like they did to me before. So there is a wall of security and a wall of defense. Okay, y'all, pastor is going somewhere. But the reality is that the walls built to keep out has only kept you in. Oh, God. Ooh, preach, pastor, in this place. The only walls, the walls that you think was built to keep people out, are only keeping you in. You are a prison in the walls that you think you're being secure in. You're a prison in the walls that you think are keeping to be defense. And those walls are keeping you from experiencing a life without limits, all because of the walls and the hurt and the pain of yesterday. And God has a future of tomorrow that will cause you to live a life triumphant, a life victorious, a life that's more than a conqueror. And you got the walls up and you refuse to let them down, and you're a prisoner in your own self. Tell your neighbor, let down the walls. Let down the walls. The walls have got to come down. And then see what happens is you see something that looks like an attack. When you come from behind the wall, you see something that looks like an attack, and you run right back behind it because you don't think you can handle it again. But in the kingdom, if God be for you, he's more than the world against you. And you gotta understand that you're not the same person who they hurt a long time ago. You're not the same person who was weak a long time ago. You're not the same person who was confused a long time ago. You're not the same person who couldn't handle the situation a long time ago. You are a different person. You are a new creature. Old things have passed away, and behold, all things have become new. Your emotions have become new. Your attitude have become new. Your power have become new. Your strength have become new. Your outlook has become new. And you got to realize that even though it looks like the old thing, you're not the old person. Oh, y'all ain't saying nothing to me. You're not the old person that used to be hurt by the old things. You have more power to stand against the enemy and watch him flee. You have more power to resist the enemy and watch him flee. You have power to love your enemy and to do good to those who persecute you. You got the power to forgive somebody who turns their back on you. You got the power. You have the power. You're not the same person. So the walls are not your security. It's God. Oh, y'all, I'm going a little too far. So Zachariah, I'm sure he's thinking, we leave ourselves vulnerable to attack when we let these walls down. We leave ourselves open to being hurt again if we let these walls down. We leave ourselves in a state of vulnerability, in a state where they can maybe do with me as they please, and I don't want that to happen again. Oh, God. And do you know that those walls are actually keeping out some of the greatest promises God has for you in your life? The walls are keeping you in from stepping into some of the very places God have designed for you to go. So I'm sure Zach is like, man, we can't let these walls down. Can't let this. So the angel tells Zach the reason that the walls must come down. He tells him the reason the walls must come down. I'm telling you today what the angels told Zach. There's a reason that the walls have got to come down. He tells him